Hey, this is Michael. Today I would like to talk about a question that I receive a lot from people. When you're trying to tune into an animal, you're trying to read them, you're trying to get a sense of what they're thinking and feeling, what they need, how you can support them, and you feel like you're maybe getting some information, you're tuning into them, you're getting some intuitive downloads, and then you start to second guess yourself. You feel like this is just in my head, I'm making this up, it's my own imagination, it's not them, it's me. And then that confusion, that second guessing causes a bigger gap in your communication. It almost becomes a block, and you start to doubt yourself, and it's like, oh, this isn't working, and I don't even know, and then you become all scattered. This happens a lot where people just don't believe in themselves and what they're picking up on. And the truth is, we are always intuitively, energetically, and telepathically communicating with our animals. There's always a deep energetic exchange happening, but often people don't really take the time to quiet their mind, to be present in the moment, and to really feel and interpret what they are receiving. You know, in the world that we live in, everything is happening at such a fast pace. We're on a time limit. We have a lot of technological devices like our phones, our computers that are demanding our attention and or are ringing on us and buzzing on us. And so all of this noise, this chatter can get in the way from us to tune in and to read our animals and communicate with them intuitively, energetically, and telepathically. And so what I always recommend in order to really boost your confidence and feel like you are tuning into your animal and getting accurate information that's from them and not in your own head is first to take a deep breath and to set an intention to be present in the moment and to be easy on yourself, to just relax about it, not overthink it. And I always recommend just doing a quick body scan if possible. So, it doesn't have to be a whole long, deep meditation that becomes this whole big thing. It could just be that you take a deep breath and you bring your awareness, your mind's eye, to the bottoms of your feet, and you just scan with your awareness all the way up your body to feel and have an awareness of what you're feeling in the moment. Scanning all the way up to the top of your head as you're breathing, just to give you an idea of what your experience is in the moment, what you're feeling. Because this is going to help as you're tuning into the animal, you'll have more clarity on what you're feeling and what they're feeling, what is theirs and what is not theirs, and what is yours and what is not yours. That grounds you in the moment, makes you very present and open to tune into them. And then, you use all your senses. You observe them, their body language, the energy around them, how they're responding to the moment. And that's when you can tune in and energetically ask questions, however you feel guided in your mind's eye, through your senses. It's all about intention, just opening up the communication with questions as you read them and feel into them, and then pay attention to what flashes through your head. Maybe you are seeing a symbol or a picture or a feeling or a scent. Maybe you feel something in your body. When it is your intuition and when you are feeling accurately something coming from the animal, it'll feel very light, natural, subtle, easy. When it feels tense or you're overthinking it or you're second guessing yourself, or maybe you even feel like a tightness in your head or somewhere in your body, that's when it very well may be your own intellect and you're kind of creating it yourself. If you're really starting to spin about it, it likely is your own intellect. Intuition and telepathic messages, energetic communication is more subtle in the way it comes through. Now, there could be an experience that the animal is feeling that is intense, but the way it flashes through is very light, it's very subtle. Like, for example, Luca here laying down, well, he's sleeping. Maybe Buddy's a better example. Buddy here, so I'm petting him here. The feeling that I'm picking up from him is he's using his nose, he's sensing, he's feeling me, and he's relaxed, my hand on his body, but he's also using his nose and he's picking up the the scents that are blowing through the air. The cat that often walks across the wall, I'm seeing a cat. Even though he's not on alert, he is aware of, and this is, I'm not overthinking it, I'm just seeing a flash of the cat that I know from experience often walks across the wall, and he's using his nose to pick that up. So he's relaxed, but he's aware. I'm also feeling his awareness in his communication with his brother Atticus that's over there laying down, but tuned in. They know that there's a WALK coming up after we shoot this video. And so they're all patiently waiting, and I'm feeling his awareness of that as well. But also Atticus, the leader in the pack that's sitting off camera, he follows Atticus's lead, and he knows Atticus is waiting to rally the troops. So I'm not overthinking this. I'm just picking it up all like a subtle breeze coming through my experience that is sharing this with me. Now, granted, I have experience with these guys, and so I know them, but this could be, a lot of times when we don't know an animal very well, the objective messages come through even more clearly because there's no emotion or expectation connected to it. But that doesn't mean that we can't connect telepathically, energetically, and intuitively with the animals that we know and love. It's just important to be present in the moment, to take a breath, and to be light about it. And if you feel like you are, you have just sort of built up a lot of second guessing of yourself, then, it's like you keep trying, or you feel like you just never know what your animal wants, well, then that's when you go into meditation of any kind and really practice relaxing. Getting into the habit of relaxing when you aren't with your animals or when you're not trying to read them and tune into them. That could be through, it doesn't have to be sitting, in the silence, full on meditating. It could be movement. It could be yoga or qigong or tai chi or any sort of like slow meditative movement where you're focused on your body. You're moving your body with clear intention, because it's all about grounding yourself in the present moment and being aware of what is yours physically, mentally, and emotionally, and what is not yours. And it takes some practice, you just give it a shot. And if you're not picking anything up, no big deal. But sometimes things just come through like a subtle image in your head, like that's how it is for me. I'll see something in my head and I'll grab it in my mind's eye. I'll kind of grab it and either verbally articulate it or write it down. I always encourage writing things down, because when you're kind of in this space, you don't even realize it's almost like the dreamscape. You don't realize what comes through, and then you may go down to your notes later and you look at what you wrote down and it's like, oh my gosh, I forgot that I wrote this down. And then you can interpret it and connect the dots a little more deeply when it's written down. But it doesn't have to be this big process where you're, writing everything down. It could just be in the moment where you're hanging out with your animals and you want to tune into them and feel them. Just see what comes through, be easy about it. But if you're overthinking it and you're spinning in your head, then that's when you start to create the blocks. So just like relax and take note of when you have felt like you've succeeded, or where you did read them really well, or there are several times where Atticus over there, he'll be looking at me and I can tell he hid something and he wants me to get it, like a bone or something that he hid in the bushes and now he can't reach the bone. It's like, okay, I know what's going on here. I can feel you. I'm seeing flashes of a bush and something hidden. And so I get up, he leads me to the bush and I'm like, oh, there it is. And so I'm like, okay, I picked up on that. And then that like strengthens my awareness and my confidence in that look that I received from him. So these are just a few examples of, how to get out of your head, how to trust your intuition, how to trust yourself, and how to feel like you can really rely on your intuition and your own abilities as you're reading your animals. And if you feel like, you made a mistake, no big deal. We all, make mistakes or whatever, and you just try again. So do you ever feel like you're second guessing yourself when you're trying to read an animal? Or do you notice when you successfully read your animal, your pet, and how good that feels? Share in the comments below. I always love hearing, or if you have any questions, of course, too. This was a question that, like I said, a lot of people ask me, and somebody recently asked me in the comments of a video, so I felt guided to share it. And of course, If you need any help with your animals, you should check out my book, Intuitive Animal Communication, Co-Create a Meaningful Life and Deep Connection with Animals, or shoot me an email or book a session with me. I'm always happy to help, and until next time, we will see you in the next video. Right, bud?